Welcome to the Cardboard Guide. Today we're going into Sorcery's latest set, Arthurian Legends. We're going to see if the set is worthy of its legendary name.
Arthurian Legends introduces the whole myth around King Arthur, and with 220 cards, it really manages to spread out and introduce a whole host of the characters that we know from the myth, such as Merlin and many more. We also get a whole host of important sites such as Avalon, Glastonbury Tower, and even more really cool sites connected to the myth. We also got some new mechanics such as lands, which we're going to explain a bit later on. Arthurian Legends was really engineered with limited play in mind, so draft and sealed. So when you sit down with your friends to either play a game of draft or go to the LGS and play sealed, you're going to have a ton of fun. But what about constructed? Are there any of the cards that are good enough to really measure up to the banger of a set that was beta? Let's look at some of the cards when we think about the constructed format.
Another thing introduced with Arthurian Legends is the multi-element minions, and these are very cool. Many of the multi-element creatures are of course from the lore of Arthurian Legends. So we see all the great knights and dames, and also of course King Arthur himself, that's a 4-element minion. And having multi-element cards is actually a new thing for Arthurian Legends because we did not see this in beta. Right now we have only seen minions, so we might later on in future expansions see multi-element magics, but we don't know as of yet if this is going to be a thing or if the multi-element cards was for Arthurian Legends only. We also saw the tricolor lands, and that was also a new thing. We had dual lands in beta, but in Arthurian Legends we saw sites that actually have 3 different thresholds. But of course they are harder to cast since you need to cast them on your back row.
As we mentioned in the beginning, we got a new mechanic for this set, and the mechanic is lands. So when you put a land onto a minion, it's going to give it +1 and first strike. The initial strike you do to a minion or to an avatar after that, you're going to have an added power, but it's also going to break immediately afterwards, and then you no longer have that extra additional power. It is really thematic to the set, and it's a really fun mechanic. Lands both works as a way that you get it with your minion when they come onto the grid, but you can also have certain sites such as Forge, where the part of the genesis is that you can for 1 mana generate a land that you then later can pick up with a minion or your avatar.
Besides being great for draft and sealed play, Arthurian Legends also holds a great deal of cards that have already become staples in constructed play. These cards, among others, are of course Ring of Morrigan, Amulet of Niniane, Morgana Le Fay, Merlin, Wizard's Den, Valley of Delight, Feast of Crows, the Tricolor Sites, and of course also 4 Waters of Paradise. Besides these great cards, we also saw a great enhancement of water in Arthurian Legends, because water had been a color that had been lacking a bit of oomph in the beta edition, but with Arthurian Legends, water got great reinforcements with cards such as Lockbox Cat, Niddy Longarms, Sylvan Splendor, Pond, and Babbling Brook. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also become a subscriber to the channel. Thank you. While the set of Arthurian Legends overall is a really great set and it really shines, what doesn't shine is of course these multi-element knights, because a lot of the knights are not as powerful and not as epic and legendary as you would have liked them to be, especially in a set named Arthurian Legends. As we said earlier in this video, there's a lot of stable cards in Arthurian Legends and a lot of very powerful cards that has already made it into constructed play, but the knights, King Arthur and the epic dames are not part of this list, and that is of course a bit of a downer.
You could say that this is clearly because they really wanted you to be able to draft these sirs and dames and really have the feel of it when you're drafting and playing limited play overall. But for constructed, it seems, at least right now with the card pool we have at the moment, that these are also a bit underwhelming and not quite strong enough to put them in your constructed decks, at least not for those really competitive meta decks.
Just as with the knights, we also have a lot of new avatars for the set of Arthurian Legends, but not many of these avatars are seeing competitive play right now. Archmaker seems to be the only one of the list. And of course the Templar, that should be the go-to avatar of the set of Arthurian Legends and combined really nicely with the knights, are not seeing a lot of great play because the knights are not themselves also seeing a lot of play.
The Witch is a really cool avatar, and I think a lot of the community were super excited when she came out and you saw that she had 3 different abilities. But still, even in most decks, it's hard to compete against the Sorcerer because it is so versatile and draws you a lot of cards, whereas the Witch is really cool, and as soon as you get your mana up there, you can start pinging for some life loss. But unfortunately, she tends to fizzle out about the mid to late game because she simply can't keep up and you really need some more card draw. But of course, if we get more card draw in the next set of Gothic, we might see her become more popular.
But of course, just as we saw with Beta, the meta is not stable right now, and a lot of things might change and might happen when the tournaments are going to get rolling in 2025. We are betting that the Druid is going to see some constructed play. We know that a lot of people out there are trying to make him work, and if somebody breaks the recipe, it might be a very powerful avatar indeed. Arthurian Legends wouldn't be a sorcery release if it wasn't also at the same time a collectible card game. And we have seen that some of the cards, especially the foil uniques in Arthurian Legends, are indeed very collectible. These cards have risen in value, and some of them are indeed very expensive. So if you're going to be lucky enough to pull a unique foil in Arthurian Legends, you have a bang of a card.
One of the core things about Arthurian mythology is this quest for the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail is definitely there inside of Arthurian Legends and those gorgeous boxes, because not only do we have a full set of curio cards, 14 in total as of the filming of this video, but we also have an entire gilded subset of those beautiful, intricate, illuminated manuscript style gilded cards. They are beautiful, and they are really also very collectible. The fact that you have 11 of them, and if you just get one, I think you might be tempted to try and collect all 11 of these cards. And there is of course a version of the Holy Grail by Elvira Shakirova in this style, which means that there are a lot of collectible things. As Jens said, the foil cards, especially the unique foils, are really collectible, really valuable. There's also the idea that you can set collect it, because there is only a 220 card set. So it's small enough that most people might want to collect the full set, and some might even be very tempted to go for the full foil set. But indeed, especially the curios and the gilded cards are really like the top notch of the collectability, and they are beautiful for this set. So I think in terms of collectability, they really hit it out of the ballpark.
And having the gilded cards in the set is actually also something quite unique and new to Arthurian Legends, because we haven't had a rare collectible subset like the gilded cards in the beta edition. We are going to be interesting to see if this is a feature that's going to be continued on in later expansions of Sorcery, or if it was a one-time only with the gilded cards and the epic art by Elvira Shakirova just for Arthurian Legends. Arthurian Legends is a great set. It has a lot of great playable stable cards, and some of these cards are going to go over in constructed play. What does feel like a bit of a letdown though is that many of the cards that you would expect to be powerful, cards like King Arthur, Sir Gawain, Sir Lancelot, and many of the other very mythic characters aren't that good, at least as of yet.
However, you're going to have a set that is really amazing, especially for some of the new players trying it out for the first time, especially in an LGS environment. Sitting down to play either draft or seal with this product will really make Arthurian Legends shine just as much as the wrapper and the box does. The best way to open it: definitely sit down, play with it first, maybe do just 6 packs each, then you can play 2 rounds of seal play and then open it while you play with it, because then you're doubling up of the value, and hopefully you're also going to be pulling some of those epic and beautiful cards, unique foils, curio cards or gilded cards, but the last two are pretty difficult to pull.
And if you want to know just how difficult these cards are to pull, you can check out this video up here.
So thank you for watching. Thank you to all of our YouTube channel members. Thank you to our Patreon members. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.